Hey y'all, welcome to the Miraculous Freedom Podcast. I'm your host, Chelsea, and I'm so excited you're here. Freedom in Christ is a gift that's ours for the taking, yet in so many areas of life it's easy to feel stuck. We all need reminding of how the gospel frees us to live abundantly in every area of life. So whether you're at home or on the go, I hope you'll stick around for an uplifting conversation that will encourage you to walk in the miraculous freedom that you've been given. Thanks so much for tuning in. Okay, welcome to the Miraculous Freedom Podcast. As you can see, I've got a wonderful guest with me. He's kind of a recurring guest.
Yeah.
This is my husband, Muhammad Al-Harthi. You didn't know that you signed up for this, did you?
No, I didn't even know I was supposed to film this episode.
Yeah, till last minute we had a misunderstanding, which maybe we'll talk about later in the episode.
Yeah, we definitely need to address that.
Yeah, so anyway, we're so grateful that you're here. And we did want to take a second just to address the ice storm victims, people who have suffered because of the ice storm. We are so sorry for the hardships that you've gone through, and we're praying for you. And we actually just got back in our house a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
After being without power for 10 days-ish. So we're in it with you, and yeah, we're praying for you, and we just hope that you're able to push through this time. Mm-hmm. So we're talking about love today.
What is love?
Gosh. And it's Valentine's week, so it's a really fun day, fun topic.
Mm-hmm.
So normally we start off with certain questions, but I thought since we were just the last guest on last month's episode, we would just kind of jump in because it might get a little repetitive. Yes. So first question, we want to just simply define what love is and what love isn't. So normally we have kind of a broader audience in mind, or at least I do whenever I make the outlines for the podcast. Today we're specifically, well, anybody can listen, of course, but we're specifically hoping that single women would tune into this, whether you're 18 or 28 or 38, and just talk about what love is and what it isn't with us, so that you know what to look for in a potential husband, and so that you're in a very healthy relationship later.
Yeah, I'll give you the perspective from the other side, hopefully. We'll see.
Yes. Okay, so in your own words, what is love?
So love is, it actually the question, what is love, remind me of a poem in Arabic that we have in our bedroom, which I don't know if I said it would make any sense, but maybe if you're watching the video, we can have a translation of it.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
On the screen here. Editor me, don't forget to add it. Yeah. It basically says الحب ليس رواية شرقية بختامها يتزوج الأبطال لكنه الإبحار دون سفينة وشعورنا أن الوصول محال. You know what? I'm not going to sing the whole thing.
The good thing is none of us will know if you messed up. So.
I mean, it's obvious, kind of. Well,
only because you're giving it away.
Yeah. So.
But that was good. Okay, so tell us what it means roughly.
Roughly what it means, it says like, love is not a fairy tale that at the end of it, the, I guess, heroes of the story end up in marriage. Yeah, which is kind of sad. It just basically describes love as a struggle for the other person. Like, you have to give your 100% for the other person have to give their 100%. Yeah, it's not like this. I guess the whole point of the poet, and I might be wrong on this too, that he was trying to describe a situation where love does not always end up being this like amazing thing. Sometimes it's like it's a lot of struggle with no good end result. It's just like the sacrifice. That's the word what he was going for. Yes, sacrifice. Yeah.
That's great. That's actually how I would describe it too. I mean, not the poem, but like I was thinking, what is love? It's dying to yourself over and over and over again, like dying to your selfishness and your ways, and, humbling yourself and trying to put somebody else's needs above your own.
Yes, that's actually, that's the best way to describe it. Even like I totally agree and believe in that same definition.
Yeah. Well, and it shows.
It shows. Oh.
But you brought up some interesting points in that poem. So the fairy tale thing, how do you think our culture accidentally maybe misrepresents love?
I'm going to tell you, it's all the fault of Walt Disney. I'm kidding. But it's like those fairy tale stories, Walt Disney. Yeah. So the stories where this big struggle, and at the end of it, the two people fall in love and get married and live happily ever after. There is more in that happily ever after. Like that's
More
where
that you don't see.
that you don't see. That's where actual true love happen. Like the love you have for person before marriage, like your girlfriend, boyfriend, it's not the same material as the love you have for your spouse.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
You want to say more about that?
Yes. So the love you have for a person that you just met, like a crush on someone, and then this crush eventually develop into a love, you don't really spend 24/7 with that person. Like you spend few hours a day with that person, and then you don't see them. And then you have your own life, they have their own life, you're not on each other's spaces. But when you start living together, when you're married and you're 24/7 with each other, you sleep on the same bed, you use the same bathroom, hopefully not the same toothbrush. Accident
We've
could
never done
happen.
that.
We've never done it yet, but accident could happen.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah, hopefully not. Yeah. So, yeah, then you start, okay, if love that spark or the spark love start fading and another love start appearing, the love that you want to sacrifice and you care for this person. So if what you were holding on was that like young, can I call it immature maybe love? Like that young spontaneous love, that will fade. So you shouldn't hold into that and be like, oh, I don't love my spouse anymore. No, you love them or her or him. But it's just different now. So you need to understand how to, you need to understand the new form of love.
Yeah, that's a really good answer. What would you say? Okay, tell me some things, and I'm not trying to flatter myself, but tell me some things that you liked about me when we first met, and how have those things changed or stayed the same as the years have gone by? And just for context, we met in 2015. It's 2026 currently. So we've known each other for 11 years,
we did,
which is wild. We started dating in 2019. And so we knew each other 4 years before we started dating. So go way back to 2015. What were some things that made you interested in me or maybe not 2015, but sometime in that time? Okay. And then how has that changed?
So this is funny, actually. The first time I saw you, we were on campus. I don't think you remember.
I don't think it was me. To this day, I really don't think it was me, but it could have been.
It wasn't a scavenger hunt
I
game
never went
or
to
something?
the scavenger hunt.
No, you never went to it?
The only place I saw you on campus was in the IEP, which he was a student there. I was student teaching there.
Ooh, scandalous.
I was in grad school doing my teaching assistantship.
Yeah. So I remember seeing you walking by, in our group of friends. I knew you were part of us.
Except I wasn't there.
Well, okay, maybe not the scavenger hunt game. Maybe it was another thing.
Okay, yeah. It definitely could have been another thing.
And then I was like, wow, this girl looked like Taylor Swift. Yeah, I know she doesn't look like her, but back then she kind of did.
I don't know.
Yeah. I really, when I saw you, I was like, oh, wow, she has an amazing hair. That's one of the first thing I noticed about you.
How sweet.
Yeah. I don't know why, but,
Actually, we need to talk about my hair at the end, because that was one of my goals for the year. So we'll save that for the end, though.
Okay. Yeah. So, yep, that was one of the very first thing I noticed about you. That was before even talking to you or knowing your name or anything like that. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, that's normal for a relationship to kind of, or maybe even an interest, to be like a physical attraction at first, and then it kind of deepens from there.
Yeah. But just to be fair, I noticed your hair, but I did not think about oh, I need to talk to this girl.
Oh,
I did not form any kind of interest in terms of more than just, oh, wow, she has a nice hair.
Okay, well then scoot forward and tell us when you were interested in me, what interested you in me?
It was the way you were it's dealing is the wrong word. The way you were interacting with other people and in our friend group and other things and how much care you showed to those people.
Oh, that's nice. So has that changed?
It hasn't changed.
Oh,
no.
okay.
It just the format changed, the care from you to your students and to your mentees. Yeah. It changed to more of that love and attention goes to our daughter and our family.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's really sweet. Okay. So yeah, it's changed and kind of stayed the same.
Right, I'm going to ask you the same question now.
Oh.
Yeah. What about May?
I feel like I'm just copying you with all of these answers. but I promise I'm not.
Okay.
So I noticed that you were very servant-hearted, and you still are. That was one of the first things that stood out to me about you. Like, you were always willing to help, which if people don't know our story, we talked about it on one episode, I think last summer, which we can link it. But we were basically living at how would you describe the guest house?
International Guest House, the name.
Okay, we were living at the International Guest House.
It's a community where American and international students get to like mix and learn from each other culture.
Yeah. So it wasn't like an apartment complex, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it was a farm.
It's kind of, it's out in the country, and there's a lot of land, and there's horses, and we actually lived above a barn. Like, we were in different apartments, of course, but I guess what the point I'm trying to make is living there gave me a lot of opportunities to see you in different like positions or situations. Like, I would see you in large group events where we would have like 60 or 80 people, and then I would see you on a camping trip where we would have maybe 20 or 30 people, or on the Go West trip like 15 people, and different things like game nights. Those were smaller groups. And so I was able to see kind of the same thing, how you interacted with people, and you were always one of the first people to volunteer to help. Like, if somebody needed a ride somewhere, or if Mr. Bill needed help, I don't know, getting the tents together, or, things like that. And that really stood out to me, because I never felt like whenever I asked anybody for help or you for help, I never felt like you were resentful of it.
Okay.
Like, I always thought, I don't mind asking him for help because he really doesn't seem to mind. So, which maybe, I mean, I think we were just friends then.
We were just friends. Yeah, no, I wasn't doing any special treatment.
That's just how you were with me, but I noticed with other people too. And same thing as you, I guess. Like, I've seen that, of course, you still help friends and neighbors and all of that, but I've seen you transfer that into our home. And that has made all the difference. So
how sweet.
Yeah. So I guess maybe a concise way to say it is, what you are first attracted to in another person may not go away, like for better or for worse.
Yeah.
And it could change or deepen. So if there's something that you like about somebody, maybe you can even think about, okay, how would this gift, I think service is a gift.
Yes.
So, and I never thought about this, but it would have been good thinking back. How would this gift be used in a family 5 years from now?
Yes.
Or 10 years from now? And then on the other side, we don't have to talk about things that we don't like about each other. But I did want to talk about what love isn't, and maybe some red flags to watch out for.
Yes.
That you wouldn't want to just brush by and then look up 5 years later and be like, oh, this is a big problem. So we talked about that love is a sacrifice.
Yes.
That is dying to yourself, that is giving of yourself. You made a really good point that it's 100.
Yes.
So those are some things that love is. And if you want more, then you can go to 1 Corinthians 13, and it's got all of the attributes of love. I actually have been doing some scripture readings on Instagram and YouTube. So shameless plug. If you haven't joined any of those, they're just about a minute or two long. So it's not like you would have a lot to catch up on. Or if there's one that you want to hear a verse for, then you can go listen to that. And it's not me reading 1 Corinthians 13. Or the love passage from that. I took different attributes from that and then found verses that speak to that attribute about either God's character or how we're supposed to live. So the first one is love is patient, and I found a scripture about patience, and then I asked a reflection question that will hopefully help you apply the scripture to your life. So anyway, you can go check that out for more of a definition of love. But what isn't love? What are some things that we need to be on the lookout for in a relationship?
Okay, so I will start with the 100% we mentioned.
Okay.
If one side is given 100% and the other side is not given 100%, then there is a disconnect here. There is a problem. So it's something you need to address before you move on in your relationship. And just to be like, I mean, I'm not a therapist or a counselor, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. This is just from experience of, being a normal human too. Yeah. So like if you are given a lot and the other person is just on the receiving end and they never give, and it doesn't have to be like in terms of gift or service. Like everyone have their own way of gifting. Like God gave every person a different gift that they can help or use it with community. So if it's not like if you are just the only one who care about the relationship, you're only one who is thriving to make this relationship better, and the other person is just on the receiving end and like they don't have any initiative, nothing like that, that's a red flag. Even if you like really really love them, just think about it in the long term. Yes, you really really love them now, but when you start living with them, eventually that spark will fade, and the thing will stay behind is the respect between y'all and the sacrifice. So if you are the only one who is doing the sacrifice, you will get burned out eventually.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, just make sure it's both 100% from both people. Like I guess it's like not meeting in the middle, meeting all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good way to say it. And I will say there are times when I feel like I'm giving 80 or 75% and you're still giving 100%. And we don't want to make a habit of that, of course, but there are times, I'm thinking like postpartum even, where, I'm just kind of struggling and we just kind of work through it. So we're not looking for perfection, but we are looking for wholeheartedness.
Yeah. So I mean, I wouldn't say it was 70 or 80. I would say still 100, but based on your capability.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's not going to
that
look
was
the same.
my 100.
Yeah. It's not going to be the same. Like whatever the man can give in a relationship should not look like whatever the woman can give in a relationship. Like every person can give 100% in their own way. Like for example, if someone is what do you call it? A runner and the other person never ran before. If they both gave 100%, they are not going to meet in the middle.
Okay.
But it's still 100%. So that's something. But if someone is like withdrawn away from the relationship, just on the receiving end all the time, like you will send them a message, they would reply 3 days later or something like that.
Yeah.
Like not engaged in the relationship, then it's probably they might have doubt. There might be another problem. So it's good to talk about it and figure it out before you start moving forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I hope I remember to go back to something else you said, because you made another good point that I want to address, but I could forget. I think that is so important for women to hear. I mean, I can think back to a lot of situations that I was in, and I, had feelings for a guy, or I was interested in a guy, and I would just, wait and see, is he going to text me after I text him and all of that. And then, like you said, he may or may not text back for 2 or 3 days. And, you want to like give people the benefit of the doubt.
Yes.
And, that if they forget to do it one time, that's one thing. But if it becomes a pattern, then you might want to see, like, am I more invested in this person than they are in me? And should I maybe move on and kind of protect my heart from being broken or from being strung along?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's a great point.
Yeah, and like there is no point of playing game of, oh, you can't text the person on the first blah 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 hours or you're gonna look desperate.
Yeah.
No, like we're normal human. We shouldn't like set those weird rules just because of like whatever culture norms, I would say, in the dating world. I don't really know anything about it, but yeah, like if there is something, it need to be addressed. And
Yeah. The other thing that I wanted to ask you, you brought up a very interesting point about people's basically max effort being different. Let's say that my max effort looks like your 25%. Like, is that still going to be a good match, or are you just going to be frustrated with me because it looks like I'm not giving all that I can to our relationship?
That's a good question. I don't know, actually. I would say it depends. Like, you would need to sit down and talk about it and figure out, like, is it a temporary thing? Is it all the time thing? Because, like, one thing, it could be, like, the way y'all conceive love or, like, look at love is different. That you would, I guess the love language, we can call them, or that what they're called, that you could accidentally hurt each other without even knowing because your expectation is different.
Okay.
So you need to talk about those expectations and line them up, or, like, just... sacrifice and do what you know the other person would like, not just what you like. You don't do what you like for your partner. You do what your partner like for them.
Yeah.
And the opposite. And if you don't see compatibility in the long term, sometimes it's better to end things early. And again, I'm not a therapist or a counselor, so don't go break up with your significant other because you just heard me saying that. Yeah. So like talking is a big part, like communication.
Yes.
Yeah. You would be surprised on how important that is.
Like today, for example.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell them what happened today?
Yeah. So we woke. It's it's 10:30 maybe right now.
Yeah, it's a Saturday morning.
Saturday morning. Storm finished. A lot of trees fell on the backyard, front yard, and stuff, and we've been cleaning it. And this morning, my mother-in-law came to help us with the baby so we can film the podcast. And she told me, "Oh, do you want my mom to come at 10?" I was like, "Sure," but I thought 10 is too late. I mean, why doesn't
this was last night that we were talking about?
Yeah, it's like, why doesn't she just come at 9 or 8 so I can just go outside and start cleaning? Because that's what I thought we were talking about.
That's why you said even earlier was okay.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, I can just like go out at 8 and start clearing the backyard. So at 9, she started getting ready, and I'm still in my pajamas. I was like, well, whenever my mother-in-law will come, I'll just take my old dirty clothes and go outside because I'm going to take a shower after that.
Yeah.
And then, like 9:30, you asked me?
It was like 9:40.
9:40, yeah. She asked me, when are you going to get ready? I was like, I can't get ready now. So I start pulling my dirty clothes.
His work clothes out.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing?
I was like, getting clothes?
So then we realized we had been talking about two different things for this morning.
Yeah.
And we've been married for 4 years.
Almost
5. Yeah. 4. I think just 4 years. 5.5. 4.5. Sorry.
4.5. Yeah.
So, I mean, normally we do pretty well with communication.
Yeah.
I can think of another time. The bushes.
The bush. Oh, yeah. That was amazing.
I wonder if people are wondering if it's a language thing. The thing that happened today was not a language thing.
No.
It was just I did not clearly communicate.
Yeah.
And we just had in our head that she was coming for two different things.
Yeah.
But one language thing, I think it was language, don't you?
Yeah.
We were living at our house in Memphis, the first house we bought, and I don't know what these people did to these bushes, but
they never trimmed them.
Okay.
Yeah.
They were the wonkiest bushes I've ever seen. They were really ugly.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, I wanted some greenery in the front yard still. It was like 3 feet, I would say, of nothing.
Yeah.
Like just the stem.
Uh-huh.
And then like another 3 feet or 4 feet even of like leaves and stuff. Yeah. So the bushes they weren't bushy at the bottom.
They were like a tree.
It was
a bushy
tree.
Yeah.
It was. But the trunk was like this big around.
Yeah, it was huge. Yeah.
Yeah. Huge. So it was time to trim them. And they were different heights. You know, this was when we first moved in. And so I asked him to go trim the bushes in the front.
Yeah. And you did this, like trim the bushes.
Yeah. And I did that because I wanted them to be level. I was inside doing something else. And I thought, okay, this is going to take like 15 minutes because it's not that much.
No.
And then it was taking a long time, and I heard whatever saw or whatever you were using like really loud, and like it was really trying hard. And I was like, I don't think he's just cutting leaves. So what did you do?
Instead of taking the leaf trimmer, I took the chainsaw. I went like this.
Yeah, you went like that, but like way lower than I thought.
Yeah.
So then we just had these ugly stems growing out in our front yard. Oh, bless your heart.
And then it was like the bushes were on both sides. So one side we left them because she did. I was like, well, might as well even them all out. And she was like, no.
Yeah, I caught you before you got to the other side. Thank the good Lord. But that was a language thing.
It was.
I think. But I could have been more clear as well. Yeah. So, but I think another good thing to say about misunderstandings and miscommunications is you don't have to be upset about those things. I mean, you can. Like, if you're upset, then it's okay. But it's not that the other person tried to upset you. Like, you weren't trying to do the wrong thing, trimming the bushes way too much. It was just a misunderstanding. Mm-hmm. And just, I think some people take those things a little bit far when you could just laugh about it and move on and try again next time to communicate more clearly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The other thing was last night. Well, not last night. This week when we were talking about the podcast.
Okay.
And said, we need to film the podcast.
Yeah.
So we have, I guess it's not a problem, maybe a problem.
Uh-oh.
Whenever we do something we do something. It's not I do something. So we are gonna go clear the trees in the front yard, and
Well, I'll say something like, we really need to clear the trees,
Yeah.
or we really need to do this.
yes, and it's just basically I need to do it because that's like
Yeah.
my side of the job. So she was saying we need to film the podcast, and I was like, okay, she need to film the podcast, and I'm out of it. I don't have anything to do with it.
Yeah.
Until last night, and then she said we need to film the podcast. I was like, okay, you can, and I will go do this and that. She was like, no, you're going to film it with me. I was like, what?
Yeah. Again, details. So it happens.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. So communication, conflict, those are things that you just work through, and doesn't mean that you're not compatible. It just means that you need more practice, I guess.
Yes.
So the first thing that we mentioned that might be a red flag is the person engaged in the relationship or not? And we don't mean like engaged to be married, but like interacting and showing initiative and all of those things. Are they interested when they're talking to you? Are they looking you in the eye? You know, all that. I think that any form of manipulation is a huge red flag.
Yes.
And I was trying to think of a good example. You know, I'm thinking of like extreme examples of, if you don't do this, I'll do that.
I'm being sad because you didn't do blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
Or, oh, I really need you to do this. Or, oh, I'm not going to go out with you because you didn't do this.
Yeah. So if there's any kind of like, I'm not doing this if you don't do that, that's not okay.
Yeah. I mean, just keep in mind there is a difference between that and setting boundaries.
Yes, there is. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, like, boundaries are healthy. Like, for example, I set a let's say I have an early morning job and I can't stay up late. And then you want to hang out with me and go to a friend's house and stay there until midnight. And being like, hey, I can't stay until midnight because I have a work and that's my boundary. Like, I have to be home by 11 or 10 p.m. And that's like non-negotiable, which is fine because you have to set boundaries for your health, well-being, and also for, I guess, your job in this case.
Yeah.
Yeah. But manipulation will be something like, oh, you don't love me because you don't love my friends and you don't want to hang out with my friends. And I really want you to hang out with my friends, but your friends are toxic. Your friends say bad things to me. Your friends are blah, blah, blah. But like, no, it's just like, oh, if you don't like my friends, you don't like me. Which, hey, maybe you need to think about those friends or something like that.
Yeah. And I think going back to the example about time, let's say that it's really important for me that you go hang out with my friends.
Yeah.
And if I'm manipulative, then I'll be like, oh, I really wish that you could stay longer. Just this one time. It would mean so much to me. You know, I'm going to be really upset when you leave early and I'm there with them having fun. Or even further, like if you don't come with me and stay with me the whole time, then I'm not going to talk to you the next day, or we're going to break up or something crazy like that.
Or if the whole relationship is just about them.
Oh, yeah.
Like they are the center of it, like narcissism, I guess, at this point.
Yeah.
Like they don't do anything wrong. Any problems in the relationship, it's always your fault. Yeah. Like, oh, I yelled at you because you did this and that.
Yeah. Yes, that accusation. And I think too, if somebody's not willing to take responsibility and apologize, that is a huge red flag. Like you just have to be able to repent and apologize and change you know, your behavior whenever you're in a relationship. And so at the beginning, if there's somebody that's not willing to do that and you talk to them about it and you say, hey, like we've got to be able to work through things and change and all of that, and they're not willing, that's a big red flag, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Any other red flags?
I'm sure there is more, but I can't think of any right now.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to ask, which we'll see how this goes. Was there anything that you liked about me at first that is more of a struggle now or more of an annoyance now? Because we've talked about how love can change and how even your feelings change. And love is a choice. So there are some things at the beginning where, you know, maybe you overlook them or even think that they're cute. And then as time goes on, you're like, oh man, this actually bothers me.
Yeah, I can't think of anything. Do you have something in mind?
I thought that you would say because I never answer my phone.
Oh, yeah. No, that's. I guess I just got. I accepted that.
Well,
Yeah.
but like I think at the beginning you liked that about me. I remember you saying that you did.
Yeah, because you were like always present, like
Yeah.
there. But then now at home, like she will send me to the grocery store, which is every husband's struggle. And then something on the
Actually,
list.
no, not every husband goes to the grocery store for their wife.
Well, every husband that goes to the grocery store have this struggle. They give you a list, does not have any pictures. So you look at an item, you don't know what it is, or like you just like it would say chicken, and then you stand on the chicken. This is a bad example.
Yeah, I always put thighs.
Yeah, let's say like tampon, like something a man doesn't use, and then you would go to the tampon section, you will stare, and there is like bajillion kind of tampon. Be like, I don't know which one. Yeah, not just brand names. Like every
Yeah.
brand have like a million subsection. Like I never used it before. Not planning on using it in the future. I don't really know how it function. So I'll pick up my phone, call you once, twice, 3, 4, 100 times.
I know.
Yep. I'm like, well, I either get one of each or just don't get it and be like, sorry, I didn't know which one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a problem.
But yeah, I mean, we have a house phone now
Yes,
that rings, you can't mute. So
Right.
whenever I'm desperate, I just call it, and then she listened, like she hears it and picks it up.
Right. Well, I keep my phone on silent all the time.
Yeah.
Because the notifications just stress me out.
Yeah.
And I don't always see it whenever you call, even when you're gone. So, yeah, we've come up with a pretty good solution.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I just wanted to bring something out like that to show people that that's normal.
Yeah.
You know, for you to think that, like, oh, everything about this person is so cute. You know, kind of to almost be blinded by love
Yeah.
in the beginning. And then later you're like, is that actually cute
Yeah.
or is it an inconvenience?
The pet peeves.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're cute at the beginning, but then you're like, oh.
Yeah. And so those are things that you can bring up with the other person and they can work on and try to improve. But that doesn't mean that you picked the wrong person or, you know, it's not like a huge problem.
Mhm. What about me? What's something that you used to like?
I'm trying to think. I was trying to think about this earlier. I think maybe, I don't want to say something and hurt your feelings.
It's okay.
I love how easygoing you are.
Uh-huh.
And I've always loved that about you. And to me, that was like one of the things that really attracted me to you because you're very like fun loving and easy to get along with. But every now and then, I feel like sometimes I wish that you weren't as easygoing in some situations when I don't even know an example really. I'm trying to think. Sometimes I guess I feel like some things are more pressing and you're so easygoing that you're like, I don't really see the big deal. I don't really see
The urgency.
this sense of
is-
urgency.
okay.
Yeah. So we have a different sense of urgency. And at the beginning, I was like, this is great. Like, he's so laid back. And it is great still. And sometimes I'm like, okay, I need to explain to you why this is important or, you know, that sort of thing.
Like no one is bleeding, no one is dying. Everything is fine.
Yeah. So, but I do like that about you. And it's something that every now and then is a little bit of a struggle.
Yeah. No,
So.
I see that.
Okay. All right. I want to address a pretty like big question. Is the first year of marriage really as hard as they say it is?
Well, in our experience, I don't think we found it to be hard.
Not as hard as people
Say it is.
tried to
I like-
scare it.
Yeah, like the hardship did not come from the marriage, it came from an outside sources. Like for example, we had a car wreck that caused your back to hurt, and that was something hard. Like you became very limited in what you can do.
Yeah, I couldn't
And-
even pick up a frying pan without
Yeah.
it hurting. And I was in therapy, physical therapy for like 6 months the first time, and then I had to go back.
Yeah.
So that was like a very jolting experience because you have in your head like, oh, when I'm married, I can cook this for my husband and all of that. And like you actually do more of the cooking, but you know, you just have these things that you want to do
Yeah.
and I wasn't able to do them. And so it was a big struggle for sure.
Yeah. And then we just like the way we lived our life was different. So I guess that was something we had to adjust. Like, you know, when you're single, you have your own daily routine and you do it. When you're married, now you share a daily routine. So you have to come to a middle point. Like, for example, when I was single, after I finish my work or finish school, I come home, put my headphone on, in my computer, whether playing games, talking to my family, or talking to my friend. Like, that was the rest of my night. You, on the other hand, you like to read book, you like to go out, talk to people. Like, my socialization was online, your socialization is in person.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got married, I get home from work, go into the office to just sit on my computer and do my thing. And on the other hand, you're just being like, he doesn't love me anymore. He's not spending time with me. And I'm in La La Land, not even having an idea about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's something we had to like come into agreement and adjustment to figure out what's a good middle ground. Because to me, like, it was like, oh, I really want to go to my computer and do my normal things. And I don't want to spend all day there. So we had to come up with an arrangement of like, okay, I can't do this much and do this much. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you don't mind my saying what the arrangement is.
Well, like the current arrangement is Friday nights. Yeah. Like, I stay up late on Friday nights. Like, I don't play as much now. I mostly do work. And it's not like my job work. It's like side hustle stuff. But yeah, like, that's what I mostly do. And I enjoy it really more than playing. So that's what I do. I think back then we did like an hour or something.
I can't even remember now. I don't remember.
Yeah, it was something like an hour a day or something like that.
Yeah. Which different seasons, I think, call for different things. Like, now that we have a baby, almost 2-year-old, you want to spend time with her while she's awake. So yeah.
Yeah. And then when she's asleep, you're just like, oh. And then be like, okay.
Yeah.
Go to bed at 8 so you can get enough sleep.
Some people listening may be like Christians who are dating, and they might have a similar rule or boundary or guideline that we had when we were dating. And I think it was a great guideline or boundary to have. And I wish somebody would have told us to think about this before we got married too. We spent as much time as we could in public together. Like, we did not just go to each other's houses and hang out unless our roommate was there or something.
Yeah.
So to me, that was good and healthy at the time. However, we had never just like been in a house by ourselves before.
Yes.
And I think I had different expectations than you, because when we were together, like before when we were together, we were always like
doing something.
Spending time together. Whereas for you, you didn't have that expectation.
No.
And so, it was just a difference. Again, and kind of a miscommunication type thing.
Yeah. Like, because, when you're dating, whenever you decide to meet the other person, you meet them for a goal. But when you're married, you don't meet them for a goal. You're coexisting in the space.
Right.
So you have like to communicate, you have to figure out. We're not saying that you have to merge 100% and become this one blob. No, everyone still their own person. But again, you should not neglect your partner.
Yes. Yeah. So that might be something good for you to think about if you're listening and you're dating someone and you have a similar boundary of like, we're going to just meet for coffee. We're going to just go to a restaurant. How is it going to look when you get married and you're at home alone? Like, what are your expectations of how you're going to spend your time?
And don't set a high expectation, guys. I don't know if there is a guideline. No, listen, like, because we guys want to make you feel like the princess you are. And then we like be like, oh yes, from the sunrise to the sunset, I'm going to be glued next to you. No, you're not. Like, let's be realistic. You're a guy. You can't physically do that.
Yeah, and that wouldn't be healthy anyway.
Yeah, it wouldn't also be healthy.
Set realistic expectations.
Yeah, like what you're actually going to do. And like, remember, yes, it's sacrifice, but you also have to take care of yourself. So you also have to enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Like, if, for example, I don't hate reading, but let's say, for example, I really hated reading and you really love reading. And then we say, okay, whenever we get married, I'm going to sit down with you and we can spend 4 hours just reading next to each other after work.
Yeah.
And then you're sitting on the couch holding that book. I'm like, when is this going to end? Yeah.
Yeah.
Or falling asleep or something like that.
Yeah. That does not sound fun for anybody.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, they will appreciate being next to them, but not holding your book and asleep, because then like, oh, he's not interested in me or what I do. So,
Yeah.
don't put yourself in that situation.
Right. Yeah. Set yourself up for success, not failure.
Yes.
Okay. So, and I did want to point out too, we got married a little bit later, I guess, in life.
Yeah.
Most people, at least in our area, get married in like early to mid 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, how old were you? Were you 26?
Or 27.
I think you were
6, 7.
No, you were 26 and I was 30 when we got married.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So we had both
You're older than me?
kind of like had some adult life separately first.
Yeah.
And I think that made the first year a little bit easier. Not discouraging anybody from getting married young, but I'm just saying it could be different if you get married when you're 22 versus when you're 30.
Yeah. Get married as soon as you can if it's the right person. Like no point of waiting until you're old.
How do you know that it's the right person? Like we've talked about what love is and everything, but specifically, was there a moment that you knew that I was the right person, or am I the right person? You know?
Yeah, I don't really remember. Like I can't pinpoint a moment. It was like multiple events. Like just like the 4 or 5 years that we were just friends, and I saw how you're acting with people and things and that. Like, you know, because when you're in a relationship or you have an interest in a person, you're the perfect version of yourself. But
You're
when
putting on your best front almost,
mm-hmm.
even if you don't know that you are, and even if you're not trying to.
Yeah, it's like by default because you're trying to impress that person, even if you're saying you're not. So, but whenever it's like a friendship and you can see this person in a better light, it helps. And of course, I mean, when you get married, a lot of things that you thought that person were, they are not, which is not okay. I mean, just adapt and...
Yeah, like your car actually is always messy. And when we were dating, it was spotless.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, you know, you're picking up your girlfriend, you have to clean your car. But now she's...
And you were always on time or early, which really impressed me.
I'm still on time or early.
Okay. I'm the late one?
I would say so. Myself.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I would say that you cannot base things off of your feelings. However, I did feel a peace about marrying you. Yeah. And it was something that I took to the Lord and, you know, really like sat with my hands open. Like, is this the right person for me or not? Mm-hmm. And if it's not, I'm okay with that. Yes. Like, I loved you and I wanted to marry you, but not if it was going to be the wrong thing to do, I guess, or if it was not going to be what God was leading me to do.
Yeah, praying about it is very important.
Yeah, praying about it and then listening. And then if the answer is no, trusting that God has a better plan. Yeah. And I know that sounds trite and very cliche, but it's the truth. Yeah. That if the answer is no, then maybe it's not yet or not now. Mm-hmm. Maybe it is a different person, you know, but... Yeah. You won't know unless you follow through with it and trust and obey.
And if you have wise people in your life, not just your friend, your buddies, like people who are actually given wisdom, you always can talk to them and listen to them, because love blinds you and other people can see your interaction with your significant other and they can give you more insight.
Yes.
But again, you need to find people with wisdom, not just your buddies who are probably as smart as you are.
Yeah. No, I think that's a very good point. Is you need trusted people in your life that know the other person, that know you very well, and that can see things that you may not. Like people who have been married for 30 years can see some blind spots that you may not.
Yes.
And so that takes humility. Opening yourself up to that and being like, hey, I need your help. I need your wisdom. I want you to speak into this. Do you see any problems? Like, that's actually hard to do.
Yes.
But it's the better way to go, I think.
Yes.
So that you don't rush into something and, you know, do something that you would regret.
Yeah, definitely true.
I think one last thing is, you know, if you are wanting to have kids and the other person wants to have kids, you need to think this other person is going to be an enormous influence in my child's life. Do I want my child to grow up and turn out like this person? And if this person has the qualities of love that we talked about earlier, then yes. If not, then maybe no. So that's just another thing that you can think when you're trying to decide if it's the right person or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very good.
Okay. I think this will be our last question or our last topic. I want to talk about dating real quick. How do you know when to end things? So we've talked about red flags and we've talked about kind of giving grace and seeing if things are patterns or just one-time experiences. How do you know when it's time to just go separate ways?
Well, I'm pretty bad at that too.
Oh gosh.
I would say when you don't feel you're compatible. Like when the disconnect is more than the connect, like you're fighting all the time, not the healthy fight, the unnecessary fights. You dread seeing the other person, like you're not excited to see them, or at least neutral, like you're, I have to see blah, blah, blah. I have to go do blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to jump in here because I was in a relationship like that once. Not with you.
Well, I know.
But, okay, I think as a Christian woman, I had expectations of what a godly husband was going to be and the person that God had for me was going to be. And there were different men who had like checked the right boxes, I guess, but there just wasn't chemistry, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to like them, but I just didn't like them. And not that I didn't like them enough to be around them, but I wasn't attracted to them, you know? And I had heard people say like, oh, your attraction will grow over time. And that's true that it will, but there has to be something there to start with, you know?
Yes.
So you have to be attracted to the person at least a little bit. And you have to, like you're saying, want to spend time with them. So I found myself in a relationship where I was dreading like stopping what I was doing to go spend time with this person. And I didn't realize that that was really wrong. And one of my roommates was like, this is not what love is. Like, you should be excited to go talk to this person. And I was like, oh, really? So I don't know. I really feel for the Christian woman who wants to get married and wants to marry the right person and is kind of doing all the right things, but doesn't even know what could be missing from the relationship, I guess. Like, I know I'm kind of starting to ramble now, but basically I think that sometimes we don't believe, sometimes I think we limit God on what he can do. Like, I mean, I'm just going to say it. I never have felt the way that I feel about you for anybody else. Which, I mean, you're my husband. So, but like, I guess I didn't know that that feeling was possible at the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it was like I had accidentally set the bar a little bit low without even realizing it. So my encouragement to any Christian woman listening is you should want to spend time with your boyfriend. You should get so excited whenever, you know, your phone lights up and it's his name. You know, it should be. It's not wrong to have all of those like
feelings.
Yeah. What did we call them earlier? Not immature, but like sparks. Yes. It's not wrong to have sparks with somebody. You do have to have the foundation that we talked about too. But I think my problem was I was getting one or the other with people. Like I would have chemistry with somebody, but they were not living a godly life. Or I would go on a date with somebody that was living a godly life, but there just wasn't any spark or any chemistry. And I would try to make that work. And you don't have to try to make that work. Like, you know what I mean? If it's not both and you don't feel led to do it, you're not obliged. No, you're not obligated to do it. To do that.
Yeah, and I'm just going to add, if you don't feel safe with your significant other, that's a big, even if you're like, oh, I love them so much, but if you don't feel safe, you could be falling into an abusive like behavior where, you know, you're attached to them because like, I don't know, like you're attached to your abuser, whatever the thing is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, therapy, good place to start.
And that was another thing I loved about you was I could totally be myself. And I think that God orchestrated our meeting to be that way because it was very difficult for me to open up and be myself on a date with somebody I just met. But with you, you know, I had no idea that we would ever go on a date. So I was myself way before that even happened, you know, like I just think that God knew that about me, and he orchestrated it so that it would work out.
Yeah.
Yeah. All that to say, I think if you are, like you said, if you're dreading seeing the person, or you're fighting all the time, or if you just don't have a peace about continuing the relationship and you can't even put your finger on it, then it's okay to just say, you know what, this isn't working.
Yeah.
And one last thing about dating, do you think it's okay to go on a date with somebody? Let's say there's a single woman and a guy from church asks her out to coffee. Is that okay for them to go on a date?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, how would you know the person otherwise?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
you want to add a chaperone in the mix? Be my guest.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're going to coffee, but I just think there are some people who are even afraid to date because they're afraid of what that commitment is. And you're not committing to anything. You're committing to one time getting coffee.
Yes.
And I just always had the opinion, which, you know, this is not in the Bible or anything. I just kind of gave people a chance.
Yes.
Like, even if there was a 1% chance that I could end up with this person, I would just go and see what happened. And some of that is my personality. Like, you know, I just don't want to miss out.
Yeah.
And I'm very social. So to me, it sounded fun.
Yeah. The first date you go on, or the first person you go on a date with, is not your future husband.
Right.
Or future wife.
And if you're thinking that, you're putting too much pressure on yourself and that person. Of course, you want to have marriage as the end goal, but you don't want to be so focused on that at the beginning where it takes the fun and the joy out of it.
Yes.
So I say, if you're a Christian woman and you want to be married and somebody asks you on a date, pray about it. And if you feel a peace about it, then go and enjoy yourself. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. Well, I think we covered a lot.
We did. Yeah. I thought the episode would be shorter, but I think we had a good long conversation.
Well, we had a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we did.
So, yeah, I just wanted to end by updating y'all on my hair goal.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember it?
Was it the
Heatless curlers?
Heatless curlers, yeah.
So Muhammad got me Heatless curlers for Christmas. I used them before the last podcast, I think. Not before I filmed it, but it did not work at all. And I just kind of came to terms with the fact that it might not work. But I used it last night, and I'm not 100% happy, but it did a lot better.
Yeah, it definitely did.
So if you have curly hair and you want to use Heatless curlers, this is what I did that worked. I waited until my hair was more than completely dry. At least I thought it was. So I put them in at 6:30 last night and took them out at 8:30 this morning. I have a lot of hair. It's very thick.
Yeah.
So that was like 14 hours. And actually there was a little bit that was still damp. So some of it has come out over here. I think maybe I should spray it immediately next time, because when I took it out, it looked really good.
It did.
Yeah. But anyway, if you have used them and you have curly hair and you want to pass on any tips, please do. I would love to know.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you want to add before we go?
No, I think that's all. We can wrap it up.
Okay. Well, thank y'all so much for watching, and I hope that you have a wonderful Valentine's Day. Remember, whether you are single, engaged, or dating, you are loved first and foremost by God, and so your relationship status does not have to define you. But I do hope that you feel special and loved on Valentine's Day, no matter what your relationship status is, and we look forward to seeing you next month.